This episode is brought to you by TheDolphinWars.com.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to King Dolphin Television. This is episode 363, and tonight I have the pleasure of Janet from Another Planet returning. Hello, ma'am. How are you?
I'm good. Hello.
All right. I'm looking forward to this conversation. Before we get started, if you like these interviews, if you like the various things we do on King Dolphin TV, please like and subscribe to the channel. And if you are so inclined, please go to the tips link on top of the chat that says, "Don't have Snorty and Trike send you to another planet. Pay here." And put some ducats in the bucket and help this channel out. You know, StreamYard is really getting expensive and causing problems. So yeah, this helps keep the lights on and stuff. And I'd also like to thank Tim FKHC 2005 for putting some ducats in the bucket too. I think he wants Snorty and Trike to not come knocking at his door. And Snort is kind of, let's see if I can do it. Okay. And before we start the interviews, let me welcome those who are here right now. Okay. We have no one is visiting from the guest side yet, so we've got our lifeguards. We have Sandra, our producer, the one keeping me honest. We've got Trike, the official dog of King Dolphin TV.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you'll probably hear him a few times in the background as he's annoying his mommy. We've got FKHC 2005. We've got Fez Forever here. We've got Legatus Legionai. And we can't forget this guy. The biggest, baddest bear on the internet, the hardest working one. Snortopopus! Q-bar. .scream. # roar. Let's have a good show. Hello, Janet. Glad to see you.
Hello.
At
Hi.
least you'll carry this rather than the dolphin behind me carrying the show. You're a welcome relief. Have a great show. Get out of here, bear. Hold on a second. Before we get started, I got this important text I got to answer real quick. All right. Okay, had to answer an important text. Okay, so first off, Janet, and I mentioned this in the backstage. That is an adorable outfit you have on.
Thank you.
Can you tell us what's going on?
I'm a gnome, and I'm about to play. After I'm done here, I'll be going over to Bear, the Gen X. What was his name? Yeah, Gen X GM. His channel, and I will be playing a gnome over there. My name's Whisper. And
Whisper
we're going to be playing
the gnome.
Final Age. Yeah. Final Age is the game that we're going to be playing.
Oh,
So,
okay. Now, you said that these guys are developing, though.
Yeah. Well, this is the game that he's not. This isn't the one he's writing. The other one he's writing is called Heroic, and it's all superhero stuff. And I play on Wednesday or Monday nights every other week as a character called Mystic Mirage. On that he wrote for me, so it's great. It's been a lot of fun.
Okay. All right.
And on
So
Saturdays, I play 2 different games for Bruce on Bruce's channel because remember, Bruce is the one that got me first started on all of this stuff.
mhm.
So
Okay. Cool. Let's see. And what we'll do is, as we're talking, when I see questions or comments come up, I will read them out there. First off, Legatus Legion I has a question. Who's the dolphin character you're sharing the panel with? I heard he might be important. You better watch it. That dolphin guy is a shyster.
yeah, we're gonna work it out because he's gonna come and be on my show on Thursday night. One
Yeah.
night he can work it out, and I'm gonna do an interview on him.
Yeah.
That'll be great. So
I'm looking forward to it. Let's see. And Snorter Pooper says Janet may be a human, but she's much cuter than the dolphin. Yeah, well, you know.
well, thank you.
Yeah. See, I don't get any respect from here in the pod.
Well,
None at all. Okay, so we've had you on a couple
my-
times.
Yeah, third time. This will be my third time we
Yeah.
asked me questions and all that stuff.
Yeah. So what's been going on? What's been going on with you?
Well, I'm pretty much just trying to grow my channel, and I now have a Rumble. It's called Janet's Universe over on Rumble. I had a Janet from another planet, but I forgot my password and stuff, and I just said, "Oh well, darn it!" Now I have 2 channels. Whenever I figure out what it is, so I just called it Janet's Universe. And I have a Discord. I just started a Gilded because Bruce got kicked out of his Discord, and he had to start a Gilded so we could do the Girl Guy in a Movie show and watch the movie together and all that. So now I went ahead and started my own Gilded for that. So I got a lot of stuff. I got a TikTok and I got a Instagram. I have LinkedIn, Rumble, YouTube.
Oh, you are one busy person.
Yeah, but I'm doing really good on TikTok. I've got over 10,000
Wow.
subscribers over there now, so it's doing pretty good. But it's all shorts and stuff like that. And I didn't start doing shorts or anything over on YouTube until they started doing it because I guess because TikTok was doing so well, they decided they want to try it.
All right. And of course, you're still doing the artwork and the
My crafting stuff.
Yeah. Well, you use, for those that don't remember, you recycle plastic. Tell us about that.
Well, I take like Walmart bags, bags that size, shopping bags, from Dollar General, all the different places that are different colors. And I cut them up. I cut the handles off and the bottom off and make loops out of them. And then I loop it together and I roll it all up and I call it plarn. And then I crochet and make tote bags.
Oh, okay.
I've made a couple hats in a backpack and a few other things, just scoop off with it. And most of them, I just give them away. But I used to sell them. When I lived in New Orleans, I would, sell them down there. But now I just make them, and I've been making them and sending them. I got a list of people I'm making them for on X because I do spaces on X. And I've met some really fun, nice people over there. And I'll just make a bag and say, okay, here's your bag. I'm going to mail it to you. And then I start making another one. So I'm recycling though the whole time because they're made out of, 100% made out of used bags. So they're not, and they're pretty. They turned out pretty nice. And I don't use a pattern. So I just use whatever colors I have and whatever pops in my head. And whether they want a tote bag or they want a drawstring bag, then I'll make it using it that way, make them for them. I'll make your wife one.
Huh?
I can make your wife one after I'm caught up with I got 7 I got to make first.
Yeah.
I have to put her name on the list. But
yeah, go ahead.
Good. I'm pretty good.
I think Sandra would like one.
Good. I will make her one. Her name's Sandra.
Sandra, yes.
Because one of my sisters' name's Sandra.
Oh, cool.
So it's interesting.
Yeah.
It's a popular name.
Yeah, it is. I'll get you my address and whenever you're caught up.
Yeah, when I get caught up, I'll send pictures. Once I start working on it, I like to send pictures. Say, okay, this is where I'm at.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I think she'd like that. I think she'd really like that.
It's really cool. I just tell people, don't leave them in your hot car. Because it will, like melt together and stuff like that. Because it is plastic. So
yeah,
but you can wash it, in the sink or whatever, and hang it up to dry. I just hang it up in the shower, and I just use it over and over again. The one bag that I carry all my crocheting I made it like 12, 13 years ago. And it's still doing really good. So plastic lasts a long time.
Yeah, it does.
So.
And it saves on the environment. Of course, we use ours to pick up
doggy poopy.
Poopy.
Yeah, they're so good. They're very versatile. You use them for so many things. I use them for if I'm going to go somewhere overnight and just put my stuffed toiletries in it and just throw it in my truck seat. And then also I put a bunch of them in my little trash cans in the kitchen in different areas, and I just take a new one out and fill it back up again. Just keep them that way. So I reuse all that kind of stuff.
Okay, cool. All right. I'm going to show periodically. I will show since some of your artwork.
I saw that you shared my Friday night shit show Gmail. Okay, that's my show on Friday night, but it's mostly political. But if anybody has an idea or anything that they'd like to see me talk about on my Thursday night show, which I usually have one guest, and they come on. Last week I had the Devil Flyer on there, and he talked about his comic book and stuff. And I like to have different guests like that. I like to have you come on, Raymond, and
we'll make it happen.
And you have unique people on there, and it's usually either someone I've met on one of the apps that I'm on for their career, like the politics, or they're a crafter, or they work for their city. I had a woman that comes on that helps rescue trafficked children. I just have a whole variety of people, and I like it because it's one-on-one, like we're doing right now. Yeah. And on Friday night, it's really chaos if anybody's ever watched it, because I have 4 people usually on there, and we're all talking.
That sounds
that's passionate. So
that sounds like when we do Just Cause, but we still have the boundaries and stuff. But we go crazy on Just Cause. You ought to come and check that out.
Is it on Friday though?
No, it's on Saturdays.
Oh, Saturday. See, I game all day Saturday. And Bruce's games. Now, see, Bear does 2 hours, a 2 hour game. He has a timer, and when he gets close to 2 hours, the game's over until next week or the next game. Bruce isn't like that. Bruce's games will go 6 to 8 hours long. So 2 totally different kinds of playing. So I'm really trying to learn and learn how. Let me show you this real quick. I don't know if any of you guys know Crafting Gamer. You guys know him?
No.
Okay, he's on here, but see, he made this. He made this for me. It's got magnets on it. He made it.
Nice.
He made it all by hand, and it's my dice tower. And he put this little guy on it because I did a show. It dressed as what was his name? Hey, you guys. And I had tattoos on my arms and a hat and everything. So it was fun. But this was great. And I use this when I'm playing my games. And I've had some really cool stuff sent to me. I had he made this for me. It's a leather dice pouch.
Oh, wow.
And then he made
it's 10-sided too.
Yeah, it's wonderful. And then he also made me this because I was having a hard time understanding what dice I needed. So he printed this out on a 3D printer, and then he put some dice in it. And I had already bought me a set of these, and they have little skulls inside of them because I thought it was cool. So nice. I already have 40 pair sets of dice.
Oh, that's very cool.
So, if anybody that plays, Pathfinder, any of those games.
Yeah. Hello, Comic Relief Crusader. How you doing?
Hi.
So, all right. Well, we'll figure it out. We'll make it work on Thursday. Snort says, just roll the Dolphins tank into your studio and he'll be ready. Yeah. Yeah. Snort's being a bit feisty tonight.
Yes, he is.
Yes, he is.
He's hungry.
Okay. Mhm. Yep. All right. So let's get to no, not that one. Okay, let's get to this one. All right. Oh, the Hobgoblin.
Yeah, that was a picture. A guy was wanting me to make him one, and I said, "Well, send me a really good quality picture of whatever it is you want." And he wanted this one from the comic book, so he sent me that, and then I had him send me special ordered the canvas and everything and the colors to make sure it was, exactly like his picture. Then I made it, and then I mailed it to him, and I decoupage them so that you don't lose any of the rhinestones or anything. And I also usually, when I do them, I frame them and recycle an old frame and repaint it and get new glass cut or whatever for it. And I cut my own mat because I have a mat cutter. So.
Oh, okay. Now, what do you use? Do you use like the light bright things, or do you use gems?
They're
Little
gems.
They're
little
gems.
rhinestones. Mm-hmm. So they're real sparkly. A couple of them, I guess I should have sent you one of the videos, or I could pull one up, and it zooms in, like when I was making Rocket the raccoon and some of the others I made. I made specific.
Well, you sent me a couple videos. I don't know if they'll come up, but you sent me one on the Enterprise.
Oh yeah, okay. You should be able to see that because that one's hanging in my office. I kept that one for myself because it's like, this big. It's bigger than a movie poster.
Oh, okay. Let me see if I can bring that one up. Let's see. And later on this evening, I've got an unboxing, guys. Or I've got an opening. Sandra, I'm not going to say it yet, but Sandra got something for me that she's going to be working on in the Dolphin Craft Room.
Cool.
In the Queen Dolphin Craft Room.
Mm-hmm.
Sandra says, that is so cool. Right, let's see if I can get the video to work. Yeah, I don't like X that you can't show. It doesn't scroll if you've got multiple pictures.
Yeah, I know. I have X, so I know exactly what you're talking about. So I'm patient. I'm not going anywhere.
Well, I think a lot of it is StreamYards too. Share screen. Let's go here. Let's click on here. Do you guys see it?
Yeah, I love it. It's so pretty.
Oh, that is nice.
Yeah. Yeah, and if you you can't zoom in on it, but if you zoom in on the pictures, you can see that it's very glistening because it's shiny because there are rhinestones.
Nice. That is nice. So it was in the working process. That was in the working.
Mm-hmm.
That's nice.
And that because it's not very many that I make for myself. Normally I make them for other people, but I had I bought one of those stands, mannequins to put my uniforms on because I have a red one and a blue one. Then I have my doctor's coat and a few other things, and I have a tricorder bag and my communicator, other stuff like that, props. But I wanted something, so I got a wall. I should have seen that picture too, but I didn't. I got a picture of that standing there, and then that picture behind it, and then I have two other Star Trek pictures underneath it. So it's like my wall with all Star Trek stuff, and I got a whole bunches of like 10 Star Trek shirts, like the Star Trek Academy T-shirt, and you did different T-shirts like that one with this Spock saying, he's got his hand up like this, and he's saying, "You want to check ya, or are you gonna wreck ya," or something like that. It's really funny, just different nerd shirts. So I got tons of stuff like that. My office is filled with stuff. So,
So speaking of which, what do you do when you're not doing this, or is this your business, or?
well, what I do is I do promo work. That's where
Huh.
I like. Let's say somebody like I could get a thing saying, "Can you come and do 4 days? We're doing the women's golf tournament or whatever in Fayetteville, Arkansas, or in Little Rock, or wherever it's going to be." So I'll go and I'll wear like whatever they tell me to wear, and they'll give me a shirt, a polo shirt, or Nike shoes that I can keep, from the women's
Nice.
thing. And I do that, or I'll do a stand-up comedian, do promo work for that, or I'll go to a grand opening for a liquor store and I'll pass out shots dressed in an outfit or whatever.
Nice.
So it just depends. Or I go to a con and I'll dress up as, whatever product they're trying to sell, and I'll walk around and sell or give out coupons or whatever to people to buy their product and tell them where the booth is, stuff like that.
Oh, nice. And I take it, I used to live in Arkansas. Whereabouts?
I live in the Ozarks, up above Conway, going towards, where Highway 7 is?
Yeah.
It's called Hog Trail.
Yeah.
So over in that whole wilderness area there, that's where I'm at. Tornado Alley.
I lived in, back in the late 80s, I lived in Blytheville, Arkansas. I was stationed at the other Air Force base in it was close to the Mississippi, so just below the boot heel.
Yeah, and then when I was in New Orleans, and I still travel down there depending on how much they're going to pay me, to do like I've done a couple, music videos, and I've helped with other stuff. I do stand-in work, stuff like that.
Oh, nice. Okay.
I don't want to say specifically what show or thing I've done because I don't want to give my real name away. If you know what I'm saying.
That's fine. That's fine. And here's the doggy.
This was a photograph that was sent to me of someone's pet who passed, and I ordered all the things I needed and made this for him so he could frame it.
Oh, that's nice.
And it was his dog, but it turned out really, really good. I was really happy with it. And it was pretty big. It was about, like that big. And about that tall.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to tell when it's just a, video like that.
Yeah. And hello, Swift -1 and Max Redstone. Hope you guys are having a great evening. Snort says doggo, and not many polar bears in the Ozarks.
No.
Yeah, I never made it to the Ozarks.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. I mean, it really is. But it's going to be humid. I could already tell this summer is going to be really bad.
Yeah.
But there's snakes, coyotes. I've had a black bear on my front porch. Deer, armadillos, raccoons. I shot my pistol 2 weeks ago in the back of one of my coops because my chickens were going crazy. It was pouring down rain. It was 10:45 at night. I jumped out of bed and ran barefooted out there. And then I trapped the raccoon, and it was big. I mean, a big one. It's almost as big as a Cocker Spaniel. And I ran back and got my 9mm. Didn't get any ear covers or nothing, and went in the back of the coop and shot my gun off and almost blew my ear out. So, it was exciting. But, yeah, when you live in the boonies, you got to be prepared for who knows what.
Yeah, true. Snort said, was it Cousin Growler?
I don't know. Hope not. Hope it wasn't your cousin. But he was eating one of my chickens.
Oh,
yeah, one of the ones I hatched out last year. So it was really sad.
Yeah.
But he only got one, and then he heard another one. She's hurt, but she's getting better. I've been putting videos of her. Her name's Comet, and she's getting better. She's walking out and doing stuff now because I was taking food and water to her in the nesting box for almost a whole week. She never even got out of the back of the coop because she was hurt.
Oh, that's too bad. Okay, let's see.
Yeah, I post lots of videos on my YouTube channel and on X of my eggs that I collect, of my chickens, of me feeding them because I can call them and I'll say, "Come on, let's go." They'll follow me and stuff. And I got a beautiful rooster. He's absolutely gorgeous. And I
Oh,
have
yeah.
a few little bantams, the small little, teeny tiny chickens.
Mm-hmm.
They're lavender Orpingtons, and I have those. So
Okay, let's see. Get rid of that one. Oh, this one. Oh, this one's gorgeous. This one is absolutely gorgeous.
yeah, that one turned out good. I've got another one that's just as pretty as that. It's Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman. Hero Truro, whatever it's pronounced like that. But Batman's in the middle, and Superman and Wonder Woman on each side of him.
Oh, the Trinity. The Trinity is what the
Yeah.
yeah.
It's beautiful.
How long did that one take you? That one had to.
It depends because I just work on it when I'm not doing anything, and you after a while your neck starts to hurt and stuff sitting over a desk, as you know, when you got a computer all the time. And I have a foot massager underneath my desk too, because your feet will swell and do all kinds of stuff if you're not. And I exercise, so the days I'm working out, I usually don't. I work out every other day when I go to the gym, and I don't work on a picture. But normally, anyone that's on X will see me in spaces, and when I'm in a space, either co-hosting it or just participating in it, I'm usually working on a piece of art.
Now, okay, do you trace the basic design first, or
no? I just send it. I send the whole thing to a company that I like, that just 2 or 3 different companies, depending on what I'm doing. If I'm doing a lifelike photo, I use one. And if I'm doing something like this, then I'll use another. And if it's more cartoonish, I have another company that I like, because it's taken me years to find the companies that will do it on the canvas for me, to where I can put the rhinestones on it, where it looks good. You know what I mean? Because I've had them where they just look terrible, and I just sent it back and said, I'll never order from you guys again. This is awful. Or it's bad quality rhinestones, stuff like that. So I'm very picky about it. So, but it takes weeks. Sometimes takes weeks. It might take 120 hours of just sitting there working on it. And I have a magnifying lens, that's light that I can move around, things like that. And then I also have a stand, so sometimes I video it while I'm working on it.
Okay.
So I've made
So what you do is you take a picture of your picture of what you're going to do. They send it to the company. The company is going to
put it on a painter's canvas.
All right. And then you put on the rhinestones.
I glue all the rhinestones on one at a time.
Oof.
So it takes a long time. And then when I'm all finished gluing them on, it's with wax basically. And then I roll it with a rolling pin. And then I also set, like, I've got 5 or 6 big marble cutting boards. And I lay them on top of it and let it sit for like a week with weight on it. And then once I do that, to make sure there's no bubbles or creases or anything doesn't look right, and I'll look at it really good over and over again, and then I'll decoupage it. And then once it's decoupaged, I will frame it. And I did it this way when I was in New Orleans. So, I never had a problem with mailing them or anything, because people would just take it with them when they left, right? Well, mailing it after I framed it and stuff, it's more expensive because, you can't roll it up. But when you roll it up, you risk losing the rhinestones, and then it's not,
right,
the same picture. So I like doing it this way, and it's just sad how expensive it is to mail right now. I mean, I sent his logo, which is I make all the logos 12 by 12, and I put them in a shadow box. And when I mailed it to him, it was almost 3 months went by and I hadn't heard anything, and he kept saying he hadn't gotten anything. It came back, and they said they couldn't find out where he was, or it got lost or whatever. So then I did the whole thing all over again, but it was like $275.
Oh yeah, because that's got to go overseas too.
Yeah, but now I'm trying to mail a picture about the same size as that. That's a movie poster size, and it's a Mandalorian, and I'm trying to mail it to a person who wants to buy it in Florida, and it's going to cost me $200 something just to mail it.
Oh my. Yeah, because you got to put it into a packing box.
But it's already framed too. It's not framed, but it's stretched over the wood, so that they can put it on a frame themselves. So, it depends on what it is that they want. Now, if somebody specifically wants something, like I made one of a vampire skull, and it's got it's jumping out of cobwebs, and it's got the cobwebs coming off of it. I did that, and I found a really nice a shadow box that opens up in the front, so it looks like a casket. And I bought the one that had worm holes in it and stuff. And then I cut a mat for it, and I put it in there. And he put a light inside of it, like a low light purple. And now he wants me to make him a gargoyle one. So I said, well, when I get caught up, I'll do it. So. But the thing is, I do it because I like it. I am very picky about what I want to make, because I want to enjoy watching it come together. You know what I mean? Yeah. I know it's terrible. I wouldn't be able to make a living doing it, because I think that's why all artists are starving artists. Because, you don't want to give somebody something or sell something to someone that you don't think is good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but I also make quilts out of old T-shirts, and I make, handbags and other things like that out of old T-shirts too. So, I've made a quilt for myself and one of my sisters, a lap robe out of my mother's T-shirts that she collected for years and years after she passed. So, I do stuff like that.
Okay. And of course, I've seen you cosplaying, but we'll go into that. We'll show those later. But here is, I guess this is the raw materials that you use for your bags.
Crocheting, yeah, for my crochet bags. Yeah, I use that shows you the little squares. Like I told you, I take the bags, I fold them up like an accordion, I cut the handle off, and then the bottom of the bag, so it's a circle basically. If you open it, it's just a big tunnel. But it's folded up, and then I cut them in like 1-inch squares. Then I open it up, and I have a basket with a handle, and I just open and put the handle, put it over the handle until I get a whole bunch of them. And see, I do them different colors like that. So now I have all that brown, and I can make a solid brown bag if I want for someone.
And what's the ball and the?
That's some of the thing I call plarn. Once I loop those together. And it's double thickness, because it's one loop and it goes together like that. So it's stronger when you crochet with it.
Oh, cool.
Because if you pull too hard on it, it's going to snap, because it's plastic and it's not very thick. So I try to make it as durable as I can.
Okay. And then,
but anyone that can crochet, all I do is a single crochet, and I have some videos on my channel that shows you how to make the plarn and I just do a single crochet, and I just start making it. Like I found a bag from, I don't remember the name of the restaurant. There was a restaurant I went to, and it was like round at the top, and then it was wide at the bottom. And I just used it as a pattern and just crocheted the thing, and then I crocheted it all together. It's all single crochet.
And
that's the side view of one of the bags. Yeah.
Wow.
And that's just to handle a tote, a smaller tote where you could put like random stuff in it to take somewhere with you. Like if you were going to go to stay the night at your mother's, you can put your toothbrush and your makeup and your brush and things like that in your little bag and take it with you.
That actually looks pretty durable.
Yeah, they're durable. That's what I said. That one bag that I used, I put all my needles and my scissors and my crocheting balls, of all the different color plarn in there, and carry it around. I've had it for 15 years. Wow. And it's really durable. And when I get my tires rotated or my oil changed, or sitting at the doctor's office waiting in line, I'll take a little thing and crochet, start, working on something. Because I've made runners to go on a table for people. I've made placemats, round or square placemats or rectangle, so they all match. And you just wash them and let them dry, and then put it back on the table. Yeah, see? that bag right there, the striped white and brown one, that's the one I put all my stuff in it. It's a drawstring bag, and it's pretty big. I mean, it's about that big around.
So what's the largest bag you've made?
A backpack.
A
I made
backpack?
it for I made it for my daughter. She wanted one, so I made her one, and so that I'd say that one was the biggest one I made.
Wow.
Yeah, it took me a while too, because I had never done it before, so I had no idea how to. I just sit and look at it and then say, okay, I'm gonna make this whole side and bottom and top, and then I make that, and then I made this one back piece, the whole thing, and then I crocheted it together, and then I made the front, and then I had to make it so you could flop the top open, and an extra piece so you could lace it off, and I made the whole thing out of plastic.
And then the one with the one that's laying on the table is something
that's another tote that I made, like the one you saw, the brown one. It's just like that, but I used Dollar General's yellow, and then I used Kroger bags, which are brown, and then I used Walmart bags, which are white, and then the gray bags, those were Lowe's bags. So depending on where you get your bags from. What's so cool now, though, is people I've gifted bags to, like the lady that makes my serum for my allergy shots. She's constantly saves me bags now. Every time I go, every 2 weeks when I go to get my shots, she's got some bags for me. So.
Oh, nice.
And that way I get different colors that I normally wouldn't have.
Yeah.
So. And then when I get a lot of different colors, like I'll get 4 or 5 black bags, some orange ones or some pink ones from different people, and I have when I fill a whole garbage bag filled with those different colors, then I'll make a whole bunch of cut ups and then use that with just mix the colors all together, so it's totally random, so no bag will look the same because you're tying them together and you don't have any idea of
like
what
this,
colors you're gonna have,
like this selection here.
Yeah, there you go. Those are just some bags I have hanging on the wall after I've made them. See that one is a drawstring. Now that one over to the left, that's real small, and it says tea bags on it. That's the name that I make for them. It's a little hand holding bag, a little clutch. I used an antique button on there, and I made that all out of bread bags, which was really hard, because the other plastic slides off my needle really easy. The bread bags they're kind of sticky, so it's really hard to crochet with bread. That's why I decided to make it so small, because it was really hard. It took me like 3 times as long to make that little bag as it did one of the bigger ones.
Now, do you when you make the plain, do you color them? Do you actually dye them at all before you start? Okay, so
all the colors they are when I get them.
Okay.
Do you have Dollar Generals near you?
Yes, we do.
Okay, and they're yellow.
Yes.
Okay, and see, some Walmarts have white bags, some Walmarts have gray or light gray or whatever, and then some Kroger's are brown and some of them are gray, depending on where you're at. So like when I go on vacation to Florida or somewhere and we go to Publix, their bags are different. So I save all the bags when I'm on trips too. Especially if they have a good color, because white's the easiest one to get. So, and people say, why don't you just order the plastic right online? I'm like, then it's not recycled. So,
Right.
So the whole concept of just ordering stuff to make bags to me I don't know. I do it because I'm actually recycling something and making something out of it. So I like that whole concept. That's why we do T-shirts. And how many people do you know that has drawers full of T-shirts that you can't wear anymore? You had in high school, or you got them, at a different event, let's say it was a concert or whatever. Well, I've made a quilt that I throw on my bed, and I had an old army blanket that my dad gave me a long time ago, and it's got a couple snags and holes in it. Well, I wanted to keep it, but it's itchy. I don't like, I have to have something in between the sheet and then the comforter on top of it, or I can't use it because it makes me itch.
Right.
So I don't know what's in it. I guess it's wool.
Mm-hmm.
So I decided to take my T-shirts, like I said, and my mother collected, because every time she went on trips, she bought T-shirts when she was there. It was like her momentum or whatever. So I just cut the front part off as a square, and then I cut all the other pieces in smaller squares, different sizes, and then I'll sew those together and make an edge. You know, all different colors. The whole edge is all different colors, and I fold it over and make a seam all the way around it. And then other size squares, you know, make a pattern or whatever out of it.
So kind of a quilt.
Yeah, make a quilt out of the blanket, and I put that in the middle of it. So let's say you have a baby blanket, you know, from one of your kids, but it's, you know, falling apart or whatever, and I can take some of their clothes, old clothes, and you know, shirts or whatever, and make a quilt out of it.
Nice.
And use that blanket inside, so it has sentimental value. But and it's handmade too. So, you know, you can't just go buy one at the store, which I love. As you can tell, you know, this is just a piece of material fur, you know, the fake fur. And then I got a little leather strap, and I made this little cape, you know, to wear. And then these arm cuffs is just some vinyl, and I cut, and then I stapled them all together so I can take them on and off and use them. Or you can hot glue them, depending on, you know, what you're going to use the costume for. So, you know,
nice.
You just make what you need, and I love it.
And you're recycling, things.
Yeah, and I like that.
Yeah. All right.
Somebody hears something outside.
Trike. He's got to get his wording edgewise. I think we've seen this one again before.
Yeah, that was one of the first ones I made, because I wrote letters with each of the ones I made. That's 12 inches by 12 inches. And I found a picture of Doomcock, and I made that. Now, it's funny looking because glass over it, and the glass was, you know, made it harder to be able to look at it as good. And it's got like a glare because you can see the background or something on there. But yeah, I mailed that to him. He liked it. He thought it was really nice. But it was personal to me. And I made one for Ryan Cannell. I made one for Nerdrotic. I made one for Geeks and Gamers. You know, I've made them for a whole bunch of people, because these were all people that I went to their shows and went to all their stuff and watched them week after week after week during the whole pandemic, you know. So I just wanted them to know that I appreciated them, and that I love their channels, and their channels helped me through, you know, a horrible situation. And I made them all that, and I mailed them all to them.
Nice.
So, and it's not something you can just go buy, you know what I mean?
No, because that, you know, as you said, those probably took weeks.
They did, but it was I made because I wanted to make it for them. See, I only make stuff that I want to make, so it's not something that, you know, I got to make this for so and so. You know, if they send me something and I'm like, I can't make that, or I don't really believe in making that, or whatever. You know, I haven't had that happen but once. Someone had sent me something, and I said, I'm not making that. It was too way out there, and I said, no, I can't make that for you. You have to find somebody else. So, but because I enjoy doing it, it's like therapeutic. Sewing, making costumes. Like I went to the Rocky Horror Picture shows. I go to those, and I'll dress up. I like dressing up as either Columbia or Magenta. I don't really like to be Janet all the time, because that's who I am every day. So, but I went to the Arkansas last year. I went to Arkansas Comic-Con, and I got to meet William Shatner and Christopher Lloyd, and get them to autograph my Federation of Planets manual. And I was dressed as an Andorian, so it was great.
Yeah, I'll show you. I want to show some of the.
This is a mother and daughter that had passed away, and it was from a photograph from the other daughter, and I made that picture for her dad. And when I went and gave it to him, because I cut the mat and I got it framed and everything, and we hung it in his kitchen nook where he sits and had coffee every morning, and we were all crying. Yeah, it turned out so good, because when I was making it for their eyes and stuff, I was like, oh, it's like they're really looking at me, you know. It turned out so beautiful.
That looks so realistic.
It was really, really good.
Okay.
So
I'll show
those are my favorite ones. Personal ones like the dog, you know, your family dog that passed, or a loved one that passed, or making somebody a quilt at their past loved ones t-shirts that they loved because they collected them, you know, through the years. I like that, because I feel like I'm giving something to somebody that when they use it, they're going to think about their loved one every single time they have it, you know. And to me, that's something that not everybody can give to someone. That kind of a gift. And I love doing that.
And there's the As one.
Yeah, it turned out really good. And he opened that on the live stream too.
Oh, yeah?
And so did Ryan Cannell. He did his on the live stream. And he sent me, he talked about it a couple of times on another live stream when him and, let's see, Jeremy and Drunk 3PO were on a trip going to some other event. They were doing a live stream, and they saw me in the chat, and it was like, hey, it's Jennifer from Another Planet. I just want to say thank you. I got my gift. It was freaking awesome. You know, so it was really nice. But I see a picture of Ryan holding his, just a snapshot from the live stream him showing it in his one of his streams. But yeah, it turned out really, really good, and I was really happy with it, because I wouldn't want to give somebody something if I didn't think it was nice. You know, that was his old RK Outpost picture, you know, and you know, just like the one I did for As, the same size and everything.
Okay. Let's see, and of course you're cosplaying. Let me see.
Yeah, some of these it started out with the girl and the guy in the movie. And like there's one there from the Blues Brothers. I'm sure you'll recognize it. I dressed up as a penguin, and I made my own habit, and I wore that during the movie. And when we review, because that's what I do, I try to dress up for whatever review we're doing as a character from or in theme, you know, of the X. So there you go. So I made that habit, and everybody was just so funny in the chat. It was fun. You see the background's different now because I got me some new lights now.
Oh, okay.
The LED ones now. Those were the regular, like Christmas lights I used to have hanging behind me.
So they're just, so you've got a black screen with little LEDs.
With curtains, see?
Okay.
And I can pull it aside because right behind there is my desk, my work table. And this is I got my corner desk here. Then I got a window and, you know, my ring light, you know, and stuff like that. So depending on, and I have another ring light to make other videos with. So, and tons of props, you know, I got like 75 hats and I got like 50 something wigs.
Mr. Janet, the nuns I knew never looked like that.
Oh, that's sweet. I know, but it was fun. But I had a yardstick too, and I sat and I was whacking my hand, you know, while I was. If you'd seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about.
Yes, I saw the movie. Yeah, and
so it was fun, and I always try to make it fun.
Yeah, the nuns I knew never looked like that either.
But it was a really great movie. It was one I picked, and I just love the soundtrack for that movie.
Yeah,
because that, you know, in New Orleans, that's what you get lots of good stuff like that.
Yep, the jazz and the blues.
Mm-hmm. Love it.
Okay.
Now that was the Whisper that before, the one that died. So this is a little bit different. I changed my hair a little bit because now I'm in another realm. You know, like I went through a time portal. So I'm the same Whisper but different. So I decided to change my wig a little and my outfit a little bit.
All right.
For tonight's show.
So that's a wig. I never would have told. Yeah. I would have never noticed.
Yeah, that's another wig. We see the difference in the wigs.
Okay.
Yeah, everybody likes me as a blonde. My hair is naturally brown, so I'm a
Oh,
brunette.
okay. All right.
And yeah, that was from we did I'm trying to remember the name of the movie now. We just did it last week, and I played the princess for Krull. Did you ever see the movie Krull?
No.
Okay, well, it's like a sci-fi adventure
Mm-hmm.
kind of movie, and you got a young prince who's now king because his father was killed by an alien creature that's invading their planet, and they kidnap the princess, and he gets a merry band of rebels or whatever to go with him and help him free his princess, and then they'll be king and queen and rule the planet.
All right.
So that was the outfit I wore for that. That's another wig. So I got lots of different colored wigs, all long, short, whatever. Now, did you see the movie Wind River?
No.
Okay, there's a movie called Wind River, and the actress was the woman that played the Scarlet Witch.
Oh, Elizabeth Olsen.
Yeah, I dressed up as Elizabeth Olsen and made me a tag, FBI tag and stuff. And it's winter there, and she's wearing snow outfit, snow pants and a turtleneck and stuff. So basically, I was trying to dress up like and look like her character
Okay.
for the movie.
Fez says Krull, one of the sword and sorcerer movies from the 80s. Not great, but a fun yarn.
Yeah, it was fun. Yeah, I had a lot of bad CGI, but gosh, how old is the movie? What, 40 years old or something?
Yeah.
But I thought it held up pretty well.
The sweet nun is first grade, Sister Agnes. The mean one in second grade was Sister Mary Attila.
You remember your teachers' names? Yeah.
I don't remember my grade school nuns. All right.
Okay, that was from The Last Unicorn, and I had a rainbow wig on, and I wore a silver bodysuit, but I had a horn, little hat I wore with a horn on it, and I took it off before I took that picture. But that was when we did The Last Unicorn. You saw that? Did you see The Last Unicorn cartoon?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, it was really good. I saw it when I was young. I loved it.
Snorter Poopa says Sue Thomas, FBI. I've been watching that series lately. And FKHC 2005. Who happened to sell to you?
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's been a couple days since I've really been able to get on, because I try to follow almost every single person back. Okay, now that was from, have you seen Hell Goes to Frogtown? Sorry, these are mostly movies that Bruce picks. He likes bad action, sci-fi type stuff.
Oh, okay.
So that's another wig that I'm wearing. And it's an army jacket. And then I wore like this bustier thing underneath, because it was like this guy in this movie. He was one of the last fertile men left on the planet. And he's a
Rowdy Piper.
Yeah, okay, that's the actor that was in it, and I'd never seen it, so we had to watch it, and then we did the review afterwards. So I already had to have a costume on, and I'd never even seen it, so I just came up with something. And what was funny is that there was like a huge war or whatever, and because of the aftermath of the radiation or whatever, most of the men were and the women weren't fertile. Well, then they found out that some women were fertile now. So they were having a hard time finding men that were fertile. And these frog mutated people had kidnapped a whole bunch of these women from this church cult or something, right? And they're all fertile. So they send Roddy Piper in there to rescue them, and then he's supposed to get them all pregnant. So that was the movie.
Oh,
so I'm not saying they're all good movies, but it was fun. I laughed a lot.
I like Roddy Piper.
So I have a dog tag on. So, like I was working for the military.
Yeah.
Basically, as a character. So it was fun.
And
that's my Janet from Another Planet costume. And I've done a few specials. Yeah. Well, she's not. An Andorian has, blue skin.
Right.
But this is my character that I made. I got a bodysuit, and then I got my I got, my airbrush thing so I can put my green scan. And then I have my holsters to host my weapons and then, all that stuff. And my whole story is that I'm from Venus and there's no men on Venus. So once every 1 year and 6 months, when the Earth and Venus are going around the sun, they come within close enough to where a woman can transport from one planet to the other and look for a suitable mate so that we can keep our planet populated.
Oh, nice. Well, Venus is up there. Yeah, Venus is up there right now. You can see it in the eastern.
I know. And it's, I looked it up to see how often it was, and it's not very often. So that during that time is when we're supposed to be able to come to Earth.
Hello, Gary Ambrosia. How you doing?
Oh, hi, Gary. Haven't seen you in a long time.
Let's see. I'm here to make babies and chew bubble gum, and I'm all out of bubble gum.
But yeah, Bruce picked some of the craziest movies, but because my favorite movie of all time is called The Great Raid. I don't know if you ever heard about it. It's about a real thing that our government did. It's the only time our government has ever made a special force team to just free our prisoners. And there was over 500 of our U.S. soldiers in the Philippines, and they sent a group in to rescue them. That's what it was called, The Great Raid. And my dad was military, jungle survival, and he had 5 daughters, and I was a tomboy. So that's one of my favorite movies I've ever seen. And we did that movie, one of the shows that we did. So I pick it. My movies are way different than his. He likes action, sci-fi, B-rate stuff mostly. Like, what was it? Something called Midnight Meat Train or something. He just picked some of the craziest stuff. I'd never seen most of the stuff. But it's fun. We have a really good time every Sunday when we do our show. So
okay. The Rollerblade 7.
The Sea Snortopoopus knows what movie I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That's my favorite movie.
Okay. Let's see.
Yeah, he likes cheesy movies.
Mm.
He does. So he I guess the worse the better. I mean, he really likes those really bad movies. His favorite movie is Big Trouble in Little China.
Oh yeah, I've seen that one.
We did that one. We've done 100 over 100 movies, something like that now. And I dress up for every one of them in some form or another.
Did I just hold on a second? Okay.
Yeah, the director that did Hell Comes to Frogtown, because his last name's Hell. Okay, that guy's name. Roddy Piper's last name is Hell. And wasn't he the same director that did that other one where They Live or something like that? I think it's the same director. Yeah, now that was my winch costume and my blonde wig. That's a different wig for the movie Gamers, Darkness Rising. And I made a video. I was like, at promos. I used to make lots of promos for that. But yeah, that was a funny movie too. I'd never seen it, but it was good. I really enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun.
Are you a member of the Are you a member of the Wenches Guild, or you just made that wench costume?
Yeah, I have 5 or 6 different wench costumes. Because I have some Renaissance clothes. I do a lot of different things.
So cheesy films then. Let's see.
Yeah, I get lots of compliments when I'm blonde. I had 2 blonde sisters, so I'd bring home a boy in high school, and they'd say, "Who's that?" One of my sisters, either younger or older. Now that's from the movie Tremors. Did you see Tremors?
Yes, I saw Tremors.
Okay, remember the girl that he says he's going to go see that blonde girl, and his legs that go all the way up, and when he showed up, it's a mousy brunette with sun stuff on her nose and a hat. She wasn't
Mm.
as pretty as he was expecting, so that's what I dressed up like
Ah,
her. It was fun. That was a fun movie too. I enjoyed it.
the Rollerblade 7 has Frank Stallone, brother of Sylvester Stallone, and Joe Estevez, brother of Martin Sheen.
I haven't seen that one. You have to tell Bruce, and he'll put it on the list.
You can make Janet a lifeguard. Then she can be a wench.
Yeah, I dressed up as a lifeguard for Jaws.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, a blonde lifeguard.
Ah.
Had the whistle and everything. And that's from what was the name of the pirate movie that we watched? I can't remember the name of it. The one with Gina Davis. Sorry, we've done quite a few pirate movies, and then we also did the pirate one and from outer space, and they had space herpes and stuff. That that was the one.
I've heard of that one. And,
okay, so I dressed up as a pirate girl. That one. So I've done quite a few pirate movies too, and I've got a couple different pirate outfits. I've got a police uniform. I have SWAT uniform. I have Ghostbusters uniform. I have April's uniform from the Ninja Turtles. I've got everything. I've got tons and tons of costumes.
Take care. Take care, Gary.
Bye. But Ice Pirates, that was the name of it.
Okay. Let's see.
That was from The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas. That was the movie I picked. I love musicals. My mother loved them. So I tried to dress appropriate. I had my little feather boa.
Burt Reynolds.
Yes. Dolly Parton.
And Dolly Parton.
And he hadn't seen it before. Bruce hadn't seen it. So it's not very often that I get to pick a movie that he hadn't seen. Now, I did Bad Girls. I picked that one, and he hated it. He hated G.I. Jane, and I picked that one. So, he doesn't like a lot of mine, and I end up having to watch his. So I guess it's fair. It works out in the long run.
Hello, Dalek451. How are you?
Yes, it was a play. But it was Dolly Parton wrote that one song, I'll Always Love You or something like that. And they sang that in the movie. So, yeah, they did a really good job. I love the guy that played the sheriff. He was awesome. When he did the two-step, to step away from having to be responsible for anything, the guy that not the sheriff, but the senator, the guy that was running for office again. Yeah, it was a fun movie. There's so many movies. I cannot believe how many we've done. When you do one every week,
Yeah.
It's a lot. Oh, you remember that one? That's my Romulan wigs and my Romulan ears. You can tell they're different than these. These are elf ears.
Oh, no. Wait. I got the doctor up. Let's see. What the?
There you go.
Okay. There we go.
See, I got a really short, that's one of my really short wigs. And I got my little Romulan ears on.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And one of my uniforms. Now, we also did, I wore my red uniform and I did a bouffant wig when I did Star Trek Continues. We did the series and we talked about that. And I wore a different costume, another Star Trek kind of uniform and stuff for that one. And I loved Star Trek Continues. I cried on 4 or 5 different episodes because it was so good.
Oh, I loved Star Trek Continues.
Oh, it was awesome. I mean, I just love Star Trek because I watched it as a little girl with my dad, watch reruns. And I just fell in love with it. And I always thought one day I'm going to get to join Starfleet, and get to fly around and just go meet.
Not to date myself, but Sandra and I have both seen Star Trek when they were first runs.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, I just think it's awesome. And then when William Shatner got to go to outer space, or not really outer space, but got to go to the outside and see the Earth, oh, I cried my eyes out for him because I was so happy that he did it. When I got to meet him, I was like, I was speechless. I believe that or not, because I could talk someone's head off. But I also, when I went to WizardCon one year, I dressed as the Queen of Comics. I made a huge flowing gown and everything with all the different, Marvel characters and stuff on it. It had a crown and a scepter and everything. And that's a picture of Ryan. That was me playing the game Mystic Mirage, and I'm wearing my nerd shirt that says "Never Trust an Atom."
Oh,
and that's just me. That's just myself.
okay.
And I was on.
What's the punchline? Never trust an atom. Oh, I know.
Because they make up everything, right?
They make up everything.
I got tons of nerd shirts, so I can't help it. I got so many shirts with nerd sayings on it and stuff. So, but that's what I just dress up as myself when we play that game, and that's the Monday night one where he's writing his own game.
Oh, okay. And I think
but the picture above that one, that was Ryan.
Yeah, I showed that earlier. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's me as Morticia Adams from the Adams family.
Oh, okay. At first, I thought it was Elvira.
No, her
Morticia.
shirt's a lot different. Her dress.
Yeah,
but I had a rose. I held a rose, and we talked about the.
Okay, all right. Question: Morticia or Lily Munster?
Well, I like Morticia.
Okay.
She's my favorite.
Okay. So I take it you've seen the Wednesday TV series?
No, I didn't see the Wednesday TV series. No.
Oh, okay. Adam and Evil. For me, Fez says, for me, Morticia.
Yeah, I just thought she did. You know what? I never thought she was very pretty. The actress that played in the movie, Angelica Houston. But when I saw her as Morticia, I was like, she's one of the most beautiful women I've ever seen. I just love the way she carried herself, the way she acted, her poise. She was just, I just loved her in that movie. I just loved her. It's one of my favorite movies I've ever seen her in.
Okay. How about the original or the original Carolyn Jones?
Yeah, she's beautiful too, but she's curvy. She's a very curvy woman, so she had to have a really lot of tape or whatever on compared to Angelica Houston. Angelica Houston's very tall and lanky. She's not, curvy. So, but the Munsters was to me a very different, you know what I mean? A different storyline, basically. And I love the romance between Morticia and Gomez. I just think that was so romantic. And like when she goes to the school and she's talking to the teacher about her daughter's paintings and stuff, drawings and stuff. I just loved it. I thought it was so cute because every parent looks at your kid that they're a genius. My child is the smartest child in the class and they're the best artist, they're best of everything. And she did such a good job at making it believable. I thought for a totally made up character, I just thought she was wonderful. I love as you can tell, I'm the one that picked that movie and I just loved it. I just love that movie. And it's sad that, the actor that played Gomez is no longer with us.
Yeah.
He did a great job in that movie. I thought everybody did. I thought the whole movie was very well done, very tasteful, and fun.
Okay, I think we've shown all the pictures.
Oh, wait, go up one more right there. Put it down one more underneath, right there.
Oh yeah.
That one is I play a grandma. And I'm trying to remember the name of the movie. It was a cartoon movie. And Glenn Close is the character that I played, but I can't remember the name of the movie right this minute. Darn it. I wish I wrote it down, but I didn't.
Not the Beverly Hillbillies movie.
No, it was some grandma that liked to ski and she did extreme sports and stuff. And it was like a Red Riding Hood kind of story, but it wasn't Red Riding Hood. It was something else, and I cannot remember the name of it. It was a movie that Bruce picked, and I'd never seen it before.
Oh, okay.
So,
All
and I had a gray wig and put some rollers in it, and
right. Nice.
so it was fun. And she wore like the outfit. She had a green shirt on through the whole movie and pearls. So I tried to dress up like her. But I just do the best I can with what I have, and especially when it's a short note. Hoodwink, that's it. Thank you.
FKHC is on top between Legatus and FKHC. They're on top of things.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. I have to have so many notes just to make sure I stay, where so I know what I'm talking about half the time. But yeah, thank you. I appreciate that.
Okay, Beverly Hillbillies was Cloris Leachman. Okay. I think that's all the pictures.
Yeah, I just tried to give you like a variety of things that I've been doing because I try to stay very busy.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I'm always doing something, and I have chickens
you
at
got
home.
chickens. You got chickens.
So I have to let them out. And I used to have an automatic door, but that raccoon got in because of that. So I've been going out and opening the door and closing the door every night, which is a pain in the butt. But yeah, I love getting to, because it's like Halloween every time I get to do it. You know what I mean? I get getting to dress up and wear wigs or costumes and pretend to be something I'm not. It's a lot of fun. I enjoy it.
Legata says, some notes for Janet from another planet.
Thank you. That's so sweet. Yeah. I'm really a note person. I definitely take lots of notes.
Yeah. Great. So what are you planning on? Do you have any future plans coming up?
Well, let's see. Thursday night, I don't have a guest yet for my Thursday night show, so I might just pick a subject and do something by myself if I don't have a guest. And then Friday night, I do the shit show again. Usually Ruben, Christopher Haynes is on there with me. I love having him on there, but he's had a lot of family things going on. So he might not be able to be there. Hopefully he will. Orange Hat from Orange Hat Reviews. He's another one of my panelists because, one's from Chicago, one's from New York, and Bruce, I have to ask Bruce because, we do all our other shows together. And so he's on there and he's a Texan, but he's ex-military. So, and then it's my point of view. And then sometimes I'll have other guests come on. Like I had a Canadian, a liberal Canadian that came on and talked after the tariffs were announced. And he was talking about how Trump is going to ruin his country and, how Trump hates everybody, all that stuff. But it was a good show. And I like having difference in opinions because if everybody talks about the same thing and we all agree on the same thing all the time, to me, that's boring because that's not reality. I mean, you live in a world where people have different opinion. So we all like different movies. I love horror movies. And I went and saw Nosferatu by myself because nobody I know wants to go see it with me. So I loved it too. It was really, really good. And, and I like to go to Comic-Cons and I go a lot of them by myself because none of my friends and none of my sisters are into any of it. They don't like video games. They don't like cosplay. They're just not into any of this stuff. So.
Now the game. Okay, you're going to be gaming with someone soon. That's why we're going to wrap up. We're going to wrap up soon. But are they like? Are they like the board games that you do online, or are these actual online game?
Did you watch Stranger Things?
No.
Okay, well, there's a show.
I lead a sheltered life.
Did you watch the show with all the geeks on it? It was on regular television. They were best friends. I'm trying to remember the Big Bang Theory. Did you watch that?
I've watched a couple shows.
Okay, well, they played Dungeons and Dragons on there. It's a board game, and you roll dice, like I showed you my dice tower and stuff. Right. And you have characters, and it depends on the GM what game you're going to play. You know, like Bruce has been playing the same game for like 16 years. You know, the same continuing quest is going on with the dragons and all the different things that he likes because he's writing the game. That's his game. And then other people want to play a Star Trek role-playing game, or they want to play a horror one with vampires and stuff like that. So it depends on what you're into and what game you join. And
you're doing it online.
Yeah, and I'm playing it just like we're doing right now. And then I will, there's games where you can get online and sign up for like role playing where they have the roles. They roll the dice for you. You just click a couple buttons. So everybody, you know, knows that you're not cheating or whatever else. But I roll terribly. So I will make a good decision to do a certain thing or to check something because I'm suspicious about something, but my roll's so bad, I never get answers. You know what I mean? So it's very rare that I roll a natural 20 and, you know, good things like that. And then when I do roll a really good score, it's not good for the whatever it is I'm doing because I'm supposed to roll lower than a certain score. You know, that I'm always the opposite. That's the only thing that kills me in all the things that I do is I roll terribly I just have bad luck. That's why I have that huge bag of dice. And after like 2 or 3 rolls and they're bad, I swap them out. And sometimes it gets better. And then I swap them out again. And finally I'll start rolling some decent stuff. What's really amazing to me is how good and lucky Bruce rolls. I mean, I've never seen anybody roll so many times. And we watch him because he's got a camera right on his tower. So we can see him rolling. And it's like, oh, how can he be so lucky? You know, it's just not fair. But it's fun. It's just like playing, to me, it's just like playing a real video game because I play video games. I love Lego Batman. I play that. And I also play, it's called Goat Simulator.
Goat Simulator?
Yeah, and I have earrings that look like little goats that I'll wear when I'm playing. But it's a game where you're a goat and you're going around doing stuff, you know, like headbutting buildings and cars and they blow up and you got to find things and do just tasks you have to do, but you're a goat. You know, and it's really funny. And I laugh the whole time I'm playing it. So I enjoy it because it makes me happy. You know, I'm in a good mood after I'm done because it's so stupid, but it has no purpose basically, but it's fun. So that's the kind of games I like. I like games that, and everybody I know plays all these like Halo and all these war games and they're shooting people up and blowing them up and stuff. And I'm just not into that. This last game that I was playing on Goat Simulator, okay, there's a roller coaster, and I don't have any idea why it's there. He's just on this fairground or whatever. So I kept saying, I want to ride the roller coaster, but how does a goat ride in a cart? You know, because he has no hands, right? So I just learned that I could stick my tongue on a rail and hold on to it, and I'm going to loop-de-loop, and I'm flying around. And I'm laughing my rear off because this is so funny to do some of the dumb stuff, and they're jumping on a trampoline, you know, whatever it is, just whatever dumb stuff I can do in there. And I try to do as much as I can. And now I've never finished a game. I'm on the fourth game that's out. I think game 5 has come out now, but I've never been able to finish because a lot of the stuff you have to have 2 people because you have like this timed games where you have to do it against another person, stuff like that. And I have no one to do it with, so I never get to finish. But it's still fun. I love doing it.
That's the thing playing games. You got to have a partner unless you've got a good solitaire game.
But nobody wants to play Goat Simulator. They all want to play some of these other games that now Lego Batman, I've beat it and I've gotten almost all the characters. I haven't ever been able to get all of them. But I really try hard, and it's fun, and I like it.
Okay,
it's a fun game. Because see, I have my controller right here. So yeah, but it's like, to me, it reminds me of that. But I like this kind of game better because it's all in your imagination. You know.
Yeah.
He'll tell you what's going on. Like the other night when we were playing Heroic, my character was down to 6 health points. That's all I have left. 6 points. So I'm about to die. If I get hit again, I'm dead because that was 100-something hit. 100 points off of my life. the last time we were playing. So I'm magical. So all I could think of was I got to do a spell of some sort to get this lady, because she had me by the throat and she was about to kill me. So I said, I want to cast a mirage, because my name is Mystic Mirage. So I made an illusion that looked like 20 to 30 superheroes flying and running and coming to our aid. So that she dropped me, and she's been 4 or 5 rolls. She was fighting fake people that weren't there with my spell. So I saved my own life basically, because I was about to die. So and if I didn't think about that and I didn't roll decently, I wouldn't be here. A character would already died. So I like it, because you really have to think about what you're doing and how your character affects the other people in your team. If you're a healer, can you heal the people? Are you going to be able to save people? Same thing like when you're playing a game with a team of people on any other video game. It's exactly the same, but it's in your imagination. Yeah. But I like to dress up in the costume like I'm going to do. Nobody else dresses up but me, but I like it because it makes me feel like I'm that person, and I can play that game. I can do that role. And plus I like it too. It's fun.
Yeah.
So,
all right.
That's what I've been doing. I just do my own thing. That's what makes it fun. Just like you are, right? On your channel, you do what you like.
Exactly.
And what you enjoy. And what better thing is there?
That is very, very true.
That's how I look at it. I want everybody to be able to do that.
Yeah. All right. Well, I know you've got to get ready to go to your
yeah, I'm going
to gaming. So we're going to go to show notes.
Okay. Good.
It's time for show notes. It's time for show notes. Yeah, with Mr. Raven and Sandra too. It's time for show notes. We're bringing it on. It's time for show notes. You've all been warned. It's time for show notes.
Did you see yourself on there?
No, but I was laughing at just the song and just seeing the flashing of everybody. I saw a lot of people on there. I didn't know who they were. And I was trying to read the names really quickly. No, I'm sorry. I missed myself, but that's all right.
Oh.
You're going to unbox something, I thought.
Yes. Did you want to say something else before we unbox?
Well, no, I'm just saying that I'm going to be going over to Bear, the GM, what was it? I always say it wrong. The Gen X GM. That's
okay.
Because it won't be on my channel. I don't air it.
Okay. Do you have the link to that, or?
No, I wish I did, but I can get it real quick while you're unboxing.
Okay. All right.
That'll work.
All right. Sandra got this for me. It's been a project. She had one before, and evidently between the time that she couldn't do it, but and then something happened to the model. Kind of outgrew the pattern, so she bought this. Okay, this is gonna have to go off. Pardon the disaster area known as my house. You would appreciate this, Janet.
Yeah, it's nice. That's very nice. She's a good woman to get you that.
Yeah, well, yeah, she got the pattern. And then
it's going to be nice.
She's going to make it. It's going to be the captain's shirt. The command shirt with captain's ring. Hail, Trike.
Mm-hmm.
Hail to the Trike. Yep. So she's got the materials now.
Mm-hmm.
And now she's got the pattern that hopefully has the right size. But
Yeah,
there,
a
there
lot
it
of
is.
people don't realize how hard it is to find the right, emblems and things and the pattern to make it look like an original Star Trek uniform.
Yeah. Well, the patterns came with the emblems came with the last pattern. It was
Mhm.
just trying to find the shirt, etc., etc.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying though. People don't realize it's really hard to be a fan of the original Star Trek series because they make it really hard on us fans to be able to
Yeah.
get authentic stuff.
Mm-hmm. Snort says, "Hail to the trike." Take care, Dalek. And Snorter Poopa says, "Take care, every human, dolphin, doggo, Dalek, ferret, eagle, hedgehog, and immortal jellyfish." Immortal jellyfish. Okay, I got to TM, a wholly owned subsidiary of the dolphinwars.com. All right, I got to see what this immortal jellyfish is.
And I sent you something in the private.
Okay. Okay, let's see. Huh. A jellyfish.
Cool.
Yeah. Snort says the male trousers are really tough, not pure black, some sort of gold speckle black. Yeah, well, sometimes you just gotta make adjustments as you need. All right, let's see, and let me put that up. Copy, paste, and here's the channel that she'll be on.
Yeah, you don't have to say or anything, but if you just come by and wave or say hi, I'd really appreciate it. Say hi, Janet, or whatever.
Yeah.
Because it's not on my channel, it's on Bears, but
Yeah.
it's still fun.
That's where you can catch Janet from Another Planet tonight. And of course, this is probably Pop Culture Breakdown.
Mm-hmm.
Pop Culture Breakdown, which is coming on also in a half hour. All right, so
are you going to is she going to videotape herself making your shirt for you?
I think that's a great idea. We've
put
done
a camera on her sewing and show her cutting it out and doing all that. Why not?
I have the camera, so yeah.
Yeah, I'd let her do it. And then you'd have to model it for everyone when she's finished. I think it's great.
Yeah, I will.
Show them
what?
Show them the picture of the dresses I made the girls.
Okay. Let's see.
Because I've done that a few times. I did it with my Legos because I built the DeLorean, and I videotaped the whole thing.
Hold on a second.
Well, thank you to everybody for hanging out with us tonight and listening to little old me talk about my stuff. I really appreciate it.
Okay, Snort says there's there's the endless argument over what color the commander's shirt's supposed to be, gold or lime green. That is true. That is true. Yep. Lime green, but photograph gold. Sandra's sending me something, so I'll just start with the show notes. Let's see. Trike. He's a good boy, but he barks loud. All right. So next, this coming Saturday will be Just Cuz. The chaos that is Just Cuz. Everybody is invited. And we'll have jokes, trivia, and whatever else comes up our way. The kitty table will have, the kitty table will be fully stocked with eclairs and other beverages, so please bring your A game when it comes to jokes. Also, Fez asked, let me go back to Janet. Eclairs, what do you like? Eclairs or ice cream?
I have to have ice cream because I'm allergic to gluten.
Ah,
So I hardly have any bread or anything anymore. I just found out about 6 months ago, and it's been really hard.
mm.
But yeah, I love ice cream.
Ice cream.
Vanilla ice cream.
Vanilla. In later series,
Butter pecan.
Ooh, butter pecan. Ooh, no.
Those-
Chocolate chip. Chocolate chip.
I don't
Or-
really like chocolate
cookie
that
dough.
much.
or
So.
cookie dough, but you can't eat cookie dough. In later series, the gold color was canonized, but some alternate uniforms, including the dress uniform, still appeared as chartreuse green. Fire truck should be red, and commander shirts should be gold. Yeah. Okay. The original Star Trek series faced challenges with the color film of the time. Okay. And a greenish hue. Oh, snort! And if Shatner ate too much bacon from the commissary, everybody around him turned lime green because of the gas. Ah, snort. To the pit with you. Okay, so just cause coming up next week, a week from today, we're going to have mysteries with Hannah Chapman. We'll be talking about some various cryptids. Cryptids, especially the ones that hang around here in West Virginia. Hold on a second. My allergies.
Bless you. Well, I'm going to have to go. I got like 20 minutes before my game starts, and I got to get all my notes out and everything. But I would say thank you very much for letting me join you tonight. It was fun. I can't hear you.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Let me show you the pictures of my granddaughter, what Sandra made for my granddaughters.
Okay.
Okay. And then there you go.
Those little dresses.
Yep, a skirt and a dress.
Gorgeous. Satin.
Yep.
So pretty. Yeah,
Yeah.
see, she's skilled with a sewing machine too.
Yes, she is.
Yeah, so
Very
see,
skilled.
she should definitely film making this shirt. She's probably going to get 100 orders. So people say, hey, I want one. Because it's so hard to get them. It really is.
Yeah. Thank goodness Joanne had something.
Yeah.
Not since they're closing.
Considering how much I spent at Joann's.
She spent about $600, over $600 at Joann's just getting fabric.
Yeah, I can believe it. It's
Yeah.
expensive. People don't realize that sewing is a dying art. I mean, there's so many people don't even know how to use a sewing machine.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I taught all my kids how to use a sewing machine. Because
Good.
I said, one day when I'm not around, you're going to have to sew a hole in your pants or your shirt and or sew by hand. So you can sew socks, whatever, an emergency, or, your sleeping bag rips. I mean, you don't know. You just don't know. So you need skills. My daughters know how to change a tire too. So yeah, it's important.
Yep. All right. You take
Guys, I appreciate it.
Take care, Janet, and you have yourself a great evening. Have fun on the game, and come again sometime.
I will. And get a hold of me when you figure out when you're able to come join me, and I'll set it up.
I certainly will. I certainly will. You take care. Oh, wow. Okay. Who's Steve McMichael? Snort says blue would look good on the bear. Yeah. Okay, so let's continue. Hannah Chapman, mysteries. She'll go into the cryptozoics. On the 3rd, will be our theme night. Now for something completely different. Monty Python theme show. So we will have Monty Python on the 3rd. On the 7th, 2 weeks from tonight, the Not Ready for Pod Time players will be doing we'll be doing another reading from All's Fair, a Dolphin Wars novel. So, oh, Mongo! Oh my gosh, Mongo died? That sucks. For any of the old wrestling people, Mongo McMichael, yeah. All right, 67. Wow, that's not old. That is not old. Okay, so thank you, Janet from Another Planet, for being here, and it was fun. I enjoyed it. So, all right. From wrestling, Dalek. Back in the day, I think he was WCW, if I remember right. All right. So let's see what else. So the Not Ready for Pod Time players, and I'm still working on some other interviews coming up in May. So that is show notes. I am not going to show the ending of show notes because we know that's been killing me on StreamYards. So that is show notes. Okay. So let us start wrapping it up. We had tonight, our guests were Gary Ambrosia, who you'll see at Pop Culture Breakdown in about 25 minutes. We had, sorry, I'm getting coughing fits. We had Swift -1 here. Oh, yes, he was also a pro football player, too. Let's see. Played for the Bears, if I remember right. Okay. Let's see. Now the lifeguards. Starting with Sandra, our producer and maker of the clothes. And Janet had a good idea. I'll have to talk it over and see how we could set this up. We had Trike. You heard him. You love him. Trike, the official dog of King Dolphin TV. We had Fez Forever. Thank you for being here. We had Dalek 451, the great exterminator. We had FKHC 2005. We had Legatus Legion I. Oh, and thanks, Tim, for putting the ducats in the bucket and putting the Snorty Trike tip stream. Thank you, Max Redstone, for being here. And thank you for Comic Relief Crusader for being here. All right. Oh, and oh boy, I got to remember him. Otherwise, he'll give me a big squishy hug. Oh, hail Trike. He's over there. He's going to give me a big scrunchy hug. Snort Apple Pass. Q-Bar. Dot Scream. Hashtag Roar. Great show. Great show, Snort. Great show, Janet. All right. Okay show, Dolphin. So, great show. See you Saturday. Good night. And, yep. Tim says, hail to the trike. And ALS is not a way to go. So true. So true. All right. I look forward to seeing you everybody here on Saturday for Just Cuz. Bring your A game. Or it's to the pit with you. And in fact, what was it? Let's see. Oh, yep. Snort waddled off to the pit. So, all right. Everybody, you have a great evening. Take care. Have fun. Be safe. And see you Saturday. Good night.